how much you think they're charging for it? About 400 bucks. Okay? So Kickstarter has gotten to fund a lot of people's dreams, right? So now let's transition to tonight's agenda, right? So we're going to spend a little time. I'm going to just set the tone for the next 10-15 minutes about why entrepreneurship on university is such an important topic, an increasingly important topic, not just here in Boston, but around the world. And then I'm going to introduce different friends of ours. And we're going to have Bruno Fabiero and Kate Murdoch from the Dorm Room Fund join us. The Dorm Room Fund is a venture capital fund that invests only in student entrepreneurial ventures. Okay? So we're going to introduce those two folks. We're going to sit up at the table, have a good chat, give you guys a chance to ask some questions. And then I'm going to introduce Manique, Professor Nijuan from Boston University. And he's also a serial entrepreneur, and he's going to talk about his experiences as an entrepreneur across 5 startups. He's going to talk about what it takes to commercialize technology. I know that we have people in the room that are members of the Science and Technology Club, so this one's for you guys, right? What's it take to take technology out of the lab and turn it into successful projects? And he'll also talk about his experience teaching entrepreneurship at Boston University. And then last but not least, a good friend and a former colleague of mine, Michael Geis. Michael is now the head of the founder and CEO of a company called Big Think. And what that company is all about is helping students find roles within startups. Michael spent many years at Highland Capital, one of the prominent venture capital firms in the United States. They have a long list of companies that you've heard of, like Staples as one example, that they funded. So Mike's going to talk a lot about the connection between universities and students like you and startups, and what it's going to take to get a job at a startup. He's also going to share his own experiences having worked at a major venture capital firm for over 10 years. Okay? So that's our agenda. Now, how many of you in the room, hey Chuck, good to see you. That's okay. How many of you in the room are thinking about starting a company when you leave campus? Wow. Pretty crazy. How many of you have already started a company? Okay, so what are some of the, what's the company do here?
It's an app development company.
Okay.
So we are now developing the app with the ability to the app, and it has some competitive advantage.
And is it mostly mobile apps?
Yes.
Okay. And do you have clients right now?
No.
Okay.
So we're still in development phase.
Okay, and how many are you gathered around this startup?
4 people right now.
Okay, all whole people? Or?
No, there are 2 people from Hult.
Okay.
2 from the
Cool. All right, thank you. A couple more. Yeah, please.
My company is in India.
Yes.
It is a facilities and maintenance company.
Okay.
And we have entered into the securities and housekeeping as well. And
Okay.
the event management.
And while you're here studying, your company's up and running and paying the bills for you, yeah? And you have a team back in India that's able to keep it all going while you're here? Thank you, Divya. Who else had their hand up? Who else has started a company? Yeah, please.
I have my associate back in India. I've started printing and stationery supplies with corporate work on the training materials and
Okay. Cool. Thank you, Garaj. All right, so let's get to it, okay? So this is just shows how old I am, okay? I have the privilege of working with smart entrepreneurs in many programs all around the world. And I think most of you who know me by now know this is a subject of deep passion of mine, right? So there has never been a better time to be an entrepreneur. And I know it's an easy thing to say, but I have to believe that 2 of my more mature guests tonight, Vineet and Mike, would agree with that. There's just so much more available to you at this stage in your careers than was available to us in terms of the access to entrepreneurial education, the access to mentorship, the access to capital. We're going to talk a lot about that. The access to technology, which has been consumerized, right? Because technology is no longer something that you have to go out and spend tens of millions of dollars on and hire your own IT department and build your own data center, right? Everything is available on demand in the cloud. So this is truly